Alright everyone, I usually do normal Minecraft gameplay content, and this isn't something I've done before on this channel, but with the new Minecraft Live 2025 just being finished, I figured I might as well hop on YouTube and give my thoughts just like every other Minecraft YouTuber out there is doing, and just talk about what I like and what I don't like. And so I wanted to go ahead and go through some of the changes they're making. So this is just the recap page. We're not going to watch all of it. If you want to watch it all, it's on YouTube. It's everywhere. You can go and watch it all in detail. But I've just kind of gone through the changes in this recap, and the first thing they talk about is the game drops. This isn't new. They talked about this last year. It's essentially just, instead of releasing one big update every year, they plan on doing like 2 to 4 smaller updates throughout the year. And I think a lot of people saw this as a really big positive. You know, you get more content more often, and that's great, right? I have had a little bit of a different take on this. It's since running the Create SMP, you may have noticed during Season 5, we didn't have the creaking, even though Season 5 started well after the creaking had come out. This is due to the fact that mod packs and data packs, they don't update very quickly. Most of the time, these mod packs and data packs are ran by one person alone. They have to update it on their own. They're not working with a team of developers or anything like that. And it makes it so that it takes a really long time for things to catch up. I mean, even when 5.5 came out, or even when Season 5 came out, we planned on using World Edit and World Guard, but the World Guard features weren't updated to 1.21 yet, which wasn't even the creaking update. That was before the creaking update. And so it had been months and they hadn't been updated. And that kind of comes into the issue I see with these frequent game drops is these single developers can't keep up. I mean, now 4 times a year they have to update their mod packs rather than just once a year, and doing it on their own, it's very difficult. And not to mention, a ton of the coding has changed. We found this out really heavily in Season 5. We would look up a tutorial on how to make a sword do a certain thing, and it wouldn't work anymore because they've changed the way the coding works. So they've gone and they may be changing the coding for the better, but what it's done is it's erased all of this support and history that we have on YouTube in terms of like, how do I make this thing in Minecraft? Well, now you have to put in the very specific version, and if people haven't figured it out and made videos yet, then you're just stuck because the old tutorials don't work anymore. But I do love more content, and I think Minecraft adding new stuff all the time is a very positive thing. I just hope we can come to a time where the coding stays pretty similar and it's really just the content that changes, because that would help those updaters get those updates out sooner and faster, and it would solve a lot of those problems. Spring to life. This was another section that it's already been showcased a lot. I've seen it around a lot before Minecraft Live, but it's amazing. I mean, I already play with a resource pack that adds in extra variants of pigs and cows and chickens, and to have it be vanilla, it seems like it should have happened forever ago. I mean, the variants of axolotls and the variants of sheep, it adds so much life to the world, and that variation in color is I just think it makes everything look so good. And so having all these different styles of cows, and the dogs have the similar thing where there's different styles of dogs. Cats have always looked different. It's great. It needs to be done for every mob in the game, and I think they're pretty much checking off the box on all of them at this point. They've got them all covered, and I think in the future, if they add any more passive mobs, they should always make sure that there's different variants of them, because it just makes everything look so good. And in terms of like the firefly bush and the leaves falling from trees, phenomenal. I mean, particles are the best thing in this game. There's nothing better than having a spore blossom at the center of your base, because it creates all those particles that float around the entire time, and it makes the world feel so alive. And I know people are sad we didn't get an actual firefly mob, but having a bush I can put down that creates fireflies around my house or in my farm, it's going to be amazing. I think it might be better than having an actual firefly mob, because we can control where it is and we can add that ambience where we want it. And the leaves falling from trees, I mean, the cherry trees were already so beautiful with how the leaves fell, and now that normal trees are going to be doing it, I'm very excited. The only thing I'm a little nervous about is if those leaves pile up on the ground all the time, it's going to be very frustrating to have leaves inside your base, because it's going to pile up on the floor. You're not going to be able to place blocks where you want to, and that could get a little frustrating, but we'll see how they end up implementing it. So this change, I believe, was announced at Minecraft Live and hadn't been announced previously, but it looks like Minecraft is working on some visual updates, which is awesome. I mean, they've been releasing new textures, but they haven't really changed the way the game feels. And I know for my YouTube videos, I will throw on a shader every once in a while for a time lapse because I think it looks really fun and cool. But my biggest problem, and the reason I don't play with them all the time, is one, they can bog down your computer, and two, some of them make the game look really different. And I like my builds to look good for the people who are playing without shaders and the people who are playing with shaders. So I don't want to put shaders on and then build a build and then turn off my shaders and it look terrible. And it looks like this is going to be a nice middle ground where there's some shading and there's some new graphics, but it still kind of keeps that normal feel. And if they can implement it without it overloading people's computers, Minecraft already is not very well optimized. So I'm skeptical. But if they can manage to pull it off, it could be, I could see myself playing with these on at all times. Now this guy here, this little dried gas, gasling, and happy gas, this is what made me want to make this video. At first I was like, everyone's already seen all the changes, it's not that big of a deal, no one's gonna be talking about it, but this is huge. And let me get this record set straight. I hate the elytra. I think it is one of the most poorly balanced and overpowered items ever added to Minecraft. It can be gotten so quickly nowadays with people being able to speedrun to the end, kill the Ender Dragon with beds, and get into the end islands and get an elytra. It can happen before people even get diamond armor. And on like a server like the Create SMP, like it's the reason we block off those different dimensions, because if we're trying to build a fun parkour or an interesting puzzle for people to collect a relic or complete a quest, we can't have them having elytras. It makes it impossible. You may have even noticed that after the end was unlocked in Season 5, people got elytras, and the relics got found in like 4 days. Like it's too strong. And what this looks like to me is a good middle ground. So you unlock the nether. You know, you can't get these before the nether. You go into the nether, you bring this little dried gas back, and you're able to, I guess, rehydrate him. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but you can rehydrate him and it makes him into this passive mob. And as he grows up, this gasling grows up, he turns into a happy ghast, which is now a passive mob that you can put a saddle on. And once you put a saddle on him, you can ride him. And it seems like, I would imagine it moves about as fast as a normal ghast. So it's a pretty slow flying mob, meaning you're not going to be flying great distances on this thing. It would be super slow. You'd rather just walk or ride a horse. And that's one of my biggest problems with elytras, is they're too fast. So if they keep him slow, then people are going to use him for one thing, and that's building up high. Minecraft's current solution to building up high is the scaffolding. The scaffolding sucks. I don't understand why you can't have scaffolding. Why scaffolding has gravity. You can't put it out a certain distance, or you have to stack up a new tower. And that just makes it really difficult to use. And if you had a flying mob like this gas that we could use to fly up and build in our high locations, it would make everything so much easier. Building redstone, building normal blocks. All we have to hope is that there's a good way to shift click while flying on it so that we can place things on the sides of inventories without having to like block up. But I'm very excited for this. I think if we could implement it in future servers, it could help with a ton of people's building capabilities. And now the last thing I wanted to touch on was, it was touched on way previously in a snapshot, but they've updated the mob eggs. And I don't know if I'm the only one, but I found it pretty difficult to figure out which mob egg went to which mob when looking in the creative inventory recently. There are just so many more mobs, and so many mobs with similar color palettes that it makes it really tough to see which one's which. And I do something like this in my resource packs for enchanted books and potions. I add a resource pack that makes them look different based on what they are, so it makes it really easy to see. And I think this is a good first step toward that in vanilla Minecraft. I would hope that in the future they do something similar to this on enchanted books, potions, things that are the same texture but different things. They might as well give them a different texture. I know potions have different colors, but it could be more than that. And then the books don't have any different texture now. You can't tell what enchanted book you're holding unless you're hovering over it. And I imagine that will come soon in the future. But my overall thoughts on this Minecraft Live and this newest update are very positive. I see a ton of cool things coming to the game, and really nothing that seems like it's going to be a pretty negative impact. My gripes about the game drops are more from a development side than an enjoyment side. All of this stuff is very enjoyable and fun, and I'm very excited to see how it all plays in. So thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. We will be releasing season 5.5 content here soon, and season 6 is being heavily worked on. So if you want any teasers, you better subscribe so you don't miss a thing. Thanks.